logical, full of reasoning. So let us understand that I understand intellectually nitya karma and namitya karma, the daily duties and responsibilities and occasional duties and responsibilities. But do I also experience and understand the kamya karma? Kamya karma means it has two elements: desire for fruits of an action and ego sense. It is driven by desire that projects a happiness outside. And uh, and because who projects the happiness outside? Because that I thought, that is ego sense. There has to be someone. Now understand it clearly. There are two or three things. Perhaps I am talking only to the few people, and understand it clearly. Ignorance is removed by knowledge. That is very clear. Knowledge is gained by viveka. Now understand. And viveka leads to dispassion. Applied viveka leads to dispassion. Now, viveka is gained by thinking, contemplation, and reflection. Again, I'm repeating. Understand that clearly. I'm not doing any action when I wake up in the morning. That is what you told me. So I wake up in the morning. Ignorance is removed by knowledge. First formula. Knowledge is removed by viveka. In viveka, we think. And applied viveka leads to dispassion. That is secondary. But then viveka, I gain viveka. I acquire viveka. I attain viveka by thinking. So once I attain viveka by thinking, thinking stops. I have a clarity. Then I live in the field of awareness. And that field of awareness, I experience the state of meditation. My eyes are closed. Do I see you? No. In order to see you, pay attention. In order to see you, I need to do something. I need to open my eyes. The light should also be present so that I can see you. Now I open my eyes. Tell me, you did not exist when my eyes are closed? You exist. So there is no change in you. You do not change. You were already there. Whether my eyes are closed or whether my eyes are open. Do you understand? I already have a knowledge of you. I don't see you because my eyes are closed. There is a darkness. Now the favorable conditions are there. So I create a favorable condition by doing a practice. What practice? I open my eyes. I switch on the light. But you are already there. Two part. One part. We do something. Other part. We do nothing. And the knowledge is already there. I wanted to give you the practice, but let us pick up, let us go a little deeper. You see that?
May I ask?
Yeah.
So we have a triangle, the knowledge, desire, and action.
Yes.
And in the center, it should be, I should be in the center. But if I
Center means,
concentrate it on the,
center means that consciousness is one. Knowledge, desire, and action are the three powers of the mind. But when I go at the center, these powers are merged together. It gives me knowledge. Whether you say it is awareness, whether you say it is knowledge, whether you say it is experience. Doesn't matter. So, the practice when I gave you Om with the knowledge, Om, that infinite space, base, foundation of everything is the self, not I thought. So Namaha. Nama simply means not me, created by the mind, running after the objects outside, seeking pleasure and happiness. Namaha. So that is what is my desire then? Namaha. Namaha. No desire for fruits of action. No, I thought Namaha. The moment that Nama is there, it reveals Shivaya. So I put it in the form of an action, means manifestation of the Shiva is here and now. So what happens? That mind which followed the three powers with the right perception, the mind merges. So we have a center of a triangle. And the triangle pointing upward represents Shiva.
but center of triangle, it's witness.
Oh,
Witness
yes,
of knowledge, witness of desire, witness of
yes,
action.
yes. You can say witness. You see that? Witness. I don't have any thought. I witness you, what it means. I witness you. Or I am a witness of you as an object in my mind.
My mind, where are you? And I just witness of how my mind is perceived.
So I'm not carried away by the likes and dislikes of the mind. I'm just a witness. My mind is open means I am aware. My mind is going through the eyes, I am aware. And I'm 100% aware that it is not the sense organ that is looking at you. It is basically the mind that has no preferences of likes and dislikes. Then what happens?
And as I see,
Consciousness reflects in the mind as it is to see you. Then I'm a witness of you. When that consciousness is blocked by the mind and it sees you differently, then I'm not a witness. Then I'm not a witness. Go back again. I am in ignorance. How do I say I'm in ignorance? Take an example, day to day example. You need not to go and start dreaming of heaven or enlightenment in the beginning. Don't look at it. We have to learn from where the mind is, day to day experiences. Just here and now, I experience body. I'm experiencing body at this time. There is no problem in it. But question is, am I experiencing also I am the body or I am not the body? That need to be examined. How to examine? To why to examine? To get rid of the to get rid of the ignorance. So from ignorance to knowledge, clear. From knowledge is gained by viveka. So now I experience, I feel the sensation in my hands. Sensation, I feel the sensation. So there are two things, I and sensation. So my mind says because there is a sensation in the body contains consciousness. I continue to examine viveka, viveka. I'm thinking, I'm becoming aware. So I feel the sensation in the body. The mind claims body is alive. I said, let me examine further. When I am in deep sleep, the body is not there. And if the body contains consciousness, it means the I should be aware of the body in deep sleep. Not possible. Doctor give me local anesthesia in my right hand. I don't feel the right hand, but I feel the entire body. Can the consciousness be separated from one part of the body to the other? That another example proves that the body is not conscious, body is made up of the matter. If the mind does not prompt the body to act, the body will be like a matter. Further examination. This is what the Shravan does. Shravanam, Mananam, both. So I'm just, thinking. Again, remember, ignorance to knowledge. Knowledge is gained by viveka. Viveka is gained by contemplation and reflection. So that is what I'm doing now. So I'm just doing now. Now I see this body exist on the food coming from outside. All the food is nothing but matter. So it means can if the body is conscious, it means every element in the food is also conscious. So I asked the doctor, please find out how much carbs I have, fat I have, protein I have, minerals I have in the body. So he gives me the quantity, and I collect all those quantities equally that is present in my body. I put it in front of my body and I see it is not conscious. How can I say that this body is conscious? Body is still the matter. Another examination. Examine again. Examine again. What is that examine? Yeah, yeah. What is your
King,
question?
King, King Janaka
Yeah,
has dream where he was very poor and
yeah,
afraid to survive.
yeah,
And from other side, after he wake up, yes, he understands that he's still a king and ask his teacher that what was real, that my dream or my real life.
yeah.
But when he dream, he was not able to recognize. So he was absolutely in the dream with all senses, with all imagination and feeling.
Can we
And
say he was in ignorance? Yes.
yes,
In the waking state, can we say he is still in ignorance because he is experiencing a waking state?
it
Yes.
can be. Yes,
Yes, because I see that I'm the body, I'm the mind, I'm the ego, I have desires, I'm fulfilling the desires, I have pain, and I have the suffering. In the same dream, he has the same experiences, not with the body that I'm experiencing in the waking state, but a virtual body, a virtual mind. So both are layers of ignorance. I'm not a waker, I'm not a dreamer, I'm not a sleeper. What I am? Because I witness the waker, I witness the dreamer, I witness the sleeper. I witness all the three states every day, more or less every day, days after days, weeks after weeks, months after months. And I want to change the waking state to experience awakening. No, I have to examine the waking state where I is present. I have to examine the waves where the water is present. That is the job. I have to examine my room where the space is present to reach there. I have to start from my departure point is here and now. Otherwise, if my departure point, oh, let me close my eyes and enter into the heaven, it leads to hallucination. That is not the journey the master is talking about. I have to find out where is the clay in the cup that I don't see. I see only the cup. I see my house, but I don't see the space. What caused me, my mind, to only see the house, not the space? But the space is already here and now. It is here and now. I don't see the water in the waves. I only see the wave, the clouds, the tsunami, the flood. I don't see that. So, why I don't see? Because of ignorance. Follow the same. Ignorance can be removed by the knowledge. Knowledge is removed by Viveka is extremely important, most important. Without Viveka, I cannot do anything. I cannot make a step further. Now I see closely my house. Yes, beautiful house, large house, small house, whatever it is. Do I see the space? Yes, I also see this space. Is the space first or my house first? The space is first.
No, Satchitanand is first.
Yeah,
Because
space is first.
space is also the intellectual trick.
This is an example, simile, metaphor, so that we can compare. The water is first. Wave. Now see that. Another part that is more important. I build the house and I demolish it. What happens to the space? I am born and I die. What happens to Satchidanand? Nothing happens. The water, I see large waves, small wave, big waves, flood, tsunami, but water remains as it is. Example, metaphor, simile. Okay, so the body changes, the breath changes, the mind changes, the intellect changes, the ego changes. What does not change is I am inside. What causes the problem? I am the body. I am the breath, the fear of death. I am the mind, sorrow and happiness. I am the I thought and the ego, the pride. Now, see how wealthy I am or how poor I am. Both are ego. Both are ego. I attach myself to that I don't have. I still want an attachment, but I don't get it. So I'm poor and I'm. Question is again, go back. Ignorance and suffering, first step. When you end suffering, then there is an awakening. Awakening does not come even in the presence of a suffering. Suffering is another name of ignorance.
Yeah.
So you see that we end suffering. So now ignorance is gone. So suffering is gone, and then awakening takes place. One more point that I want to emphasize here again and again. Do I see the wall? Yes. So I see the wall in the conditions when my eyes are open and the light is there. It does not mean that I made the wall to exist. It exists. You exist. So there are two parts into it. One part is action, that I need to make an effort to reach to your house. I need not to create your house. Your house is already existed. Another example. See that? Now going slowly through the contemplation, through the viveka, I experience everything that exists because of existence, which is already present. I exist, existence is present behind. You exist, existence is present behind. It is present behind. House exists, the space is present behind. Wave exists because the water is present behind. Similarly, body exists, existence is present behind. Breath exists. So, what exists takes birth, constantly changing, and has growth, maturity, and death. So, what exists is body because of existence. What exists is the breath because of existence. What exists is the mind because of existence. What exists, I thought, because of the existence. So, existence is a common element that I don't see. Even it is in front of me. I see the cup, I don't see the clay. This is ignorance. What I need to drop this ignorance, do nothing. Examine. Start from your own experiences. Whether you have a pain, whether you have suffering, whether you have anything, all our experiences takes place in the mind. They are constantly changing. They exist because of the existence. So because the mind is constantly looking in front, loses the right perception, and it is carried away by the world of the name and the form that really do not exist. I take another same example, cup. Can you show me the cup, where the cup is? You look at the bottom, it is a clay. You look on the right side, it is a clay. You look at, you see that? You look, you hold it, that is also made up of clay. Can you show me the wave? Pick up the top, it is water. Middle, it is water. And it is water. There is no wave as such. Then who causes this wave to exist? By default, like Windows at default, we are born out of ignorance. Ignorance is unending. Because the mind likes to live in ignorance, that is another reason. Until it is asked to do viveka. If we don't do viveka, we live in ignorance. Finished. I do 5 hours of meditation without viveka, waste. People do in the Himalayas. They stand on one foot. No doubt they gain some power like polar bears in Russia. Their respiration rate drops down. They can breathe hardly one or two breaths. They can live into the snow. What is that craziness? It is not meditation. You are building a strength of the body. You are bringing about a physiological changes. We are not talking about that. The frog goes into hibernation. It buries itself a couple of feet down. So I consider these are the great practices, austerities to demonstrate that I become a big. What I'm, where the fault is, I'm working on what appears to exist that does not exist. I'm trying to hold on to the wave. It will not happen. How long I can hold on to the wave? The body has to undergo a changes. So, well, look at it again. I exist behind his existence, and that existence is Satchidanand. That existence, how do I recognize? I say there is something behind the wave that exists, that is water. So, water is existence. Okay. But how do I know? Because consciousness is there. So, existence, consciousness, Sat and Chit. Then I see it is unchanging. So, whatever is unchanging, which remains constant, there is a continuity. So, this is the absence of sorrow. I need not to get attached. So, Ananda. Ananda means the joy from all the sides, all the direction. So, actually, whether I say existence, it is Satchidanand. Whether I say Ananda, it is Satchidanand. Whether I say a chit or simply consciousness, it is Satchidanand. For the sake of understanding through the mind and intellect. Otherwise, they are not three. They are one. They are only one. That is only water. That is only the space. That is only the clay in this example. Well, by giving certain three examples. So now come back. I experience the body. Do I have viveka? Yes. So what viveka does? I separate body from me. I am not the body. Body is not me. I go a little deeper and I find the mind acts only through the body. My mind, the instrument of the body, mind is body. Now I have already separated. You separate all the four wheels from the car and then run the car, see how the car runs. See that? Oh, so now what happens? I enter into an extraordinary awareness inside. What sometimes J. Krishnamurti says, choiceless awareness. So, in that state of the mind, I see clearly that the body is the instrument for an action, and why the mind should perform an action to discover the existence behind itself, not possible. So, all practices are fake, even the practices that I give to you. That also includes, But question is, the mind lives in such a deep ignorance, it is obsessed with doing the practice. So as long as it is obsessed with doing the practice, I will give you the practice. One. And second reference, our master says, because mind lives in ignorance means it is caused by the impurities. Now we are moving into the different direction. What are those impurities? One is all the six enemies. the desire, the greed, the anxiety, and and the delusion, and the pride, and the jealousy, envy. So all these six enemies takes over the mind. I need to purify the mind. First, there are a lot of distractions. Because of this, I enter into the tamasic and the rajasic guna. These are the concepts to explain, to help the mind and intellect to gain a deeper insight. That is all. We don't carry those concepts at all. Once you reach there, throw all the concepts. Forget all the concepts, because the Sachidanand is beyond the concept. All the concept. Do you see that? We need to understand that. Now question is, even after understanding intellectual, it doesn't work. I need to practice, practice, and practice. I need to understand. Simple way, because I don't get it by intellectual understanding. I don't reach there at that level of witness consciousness. I should do the practice. Don't reject it. After all, life is action, action is life. Add one practice also. You are already performing an action in the society, in the family, professional, social life. Why to avoid it? If we are Satchidanand, then we stop eating. That is the wrong approach. Body is, we know hunger. Hunger is a disease. Actually, the hunger is a disease that we are going to learn, more possibly in 28th and 29th step of this journey. So we should treat the hunger. We should treat the disease. You see that? Now, how the master says, now I sit on the dining table, come on, treat this disease. Finished. So whatever comes, you eat it and you're happy. Why? Because you are not carried away by the craving. Why? Craving will cause ignorance. Not craving is bad for my physical health. Craving is ignorance. That is why I have to leave it. Why? Because I have to live into that knowledge. That knowledge is gained by viveka. Viveka is gained by contemplation and reflection. On the other side, the ignorance, ignorance, impurity, and distraction. These are the three problems. So now see that there is another way that will make you clear, very clear to you. So first level, the impurities. So we start dealing with the mind. We understand the mind through my personal experience. I have jealousy, I have duality, I have a conflict, I have a hatred. I derive more pleasure when my desire is fulfilled. When it is not fulfilled, and then I am upset. So I am purifying the mind by certain practices. At the same time, there is a projection. So once I purify the mind, then I look at the mind who is projecting the things outside. Oh, this house is beautiful, I must have it. Beauty is in the existence, but I see the beauty in the house. I see the girl is beautiful, but the beauty is in the existence, but I see the beauty in the girl, which does not exist. It is a wave, but I get carried away. So I have to drop that distractions. Simple practice that takes years and years. You gain a power of concentration. You start focusing. That is why in Hatha Yoga we talk about Trataka.
Yeah.
We talk about mantra. Continue to do the mantra. Have you seen those monks, Buddhist monks? They're right. That gives you the chance to focus after 50 years. You die, you take another birth, you start with the same thing. Why don't you do it with understanding? So once you get rid of the vikshepa, projection, and the impurities, then only the ignorance can easily be removed. Directly, ignorance cannot be removed. That is how they are linked together. Ignorance cannot be removed directly. When the mind is not focused, when the mind is not pure, when the mind has not experienced deep calmness and relaxation within, because then it will not see the right thing. It will continue to be guided by the pain, problem, sorrow, distraction. Huh? The moment I talk of the way when you start seeing the rainbow, that will not work. So I have to purify the mind. I have to focus the mind. So when the mind is focused, you are a seeker, you have purified it. So how to do that? Sadhan chatushtaya, viveka is first. So viveka must lead you to dispassion. So now my personal experience, now take a personal experience, examine. I like this food. So it means dispassion is not there. So I should start thinking about it. Viveka. I should cultivate the viveka to result into dispassion. What people do? Okay, I have a craving for this food, and from today I will not eat. So when you are sitting on a dining table, mind says, where is that food? I like that. No, today I know I'm not going to eat because I got different food. So again, you see that ignorance, knowledge is gained by viveka. I must think before I leave. Now, when I leave naturally, done. When I don't leave naturally, it means I have to go after viveka. So you see that viveka and then dispassion. So when you live with into that state of viveka and the dispassion, then it will take shape of the six treasures. Sama, relax. Now you discover that calmness is already present within you. Last time we practiced, the very first practice I said, discover the calmness. You don't create that calmness. You don't make any effort to reach to that calmness. You simply see that there is a calmness. So that calmness is sama. Then the six treasures. So when you follow all the six treasures, what happens to the mind? There is a natural urge. Where is Satchidanand? Where is my true nature? Where is my true nature? When I am living a personal life. Where is my true nature when I am living a family life? I'm answering your question. When I'm now that intensity in the mind makes the mind very clear. Now, next moment, my family life. Let me play a role. Finished. That is the problem. So I started directly, indirectly, but then I came to the solution. This is the solution. So I need not to make any effort to remember, but I should practice and examine my life in the light of viveka and contemplation and reflection. That will help me to do the nitya karma and the naimitya karma. That will keep me away from the kamya karma. So now it is not happening, so we continue to do the practice. Maybe next time we will intensify the practice. Or now you are living, now you're talking to me. After a session, you will talk to family or personal and professional life. So what happens when you start thinking consciously? You are getting away with those thoughts which causes the ignorance, which says I cannot do it. So I have to start, I'm thinking inside, but I'm living life. Where is the problem? I'm thinking inside. So thinking is guided by viveka. Thinking. What is that viveka? So for the viveka to start, we have masters have given you the principle nitya karma. What is nitya karma? I have to, they are my duty. I have to do it. I must do it. If I do it, I don't get any reward. But if I don't do it, I'm punished. What is that punishment? It is impurities. It is impurities. It is projection. Then I go deep down into ignorance. So nitya karma and the namitya karma. So what I should do, I should do it with awareness, playing a role in all different events in my life from today. Do I need to create an event to do the nitya karma and namitya karma? No, it will come naturally. Your honey calls you, hey, come, I want to talk to you. Every day it happens. So every day there is an opportunity. I need not to create condition. They are already there. So I just become aware. I have to remove the ignorance. I apply the viveka. And when I apply the viveka, so viveka is applied by thinking with reference to the principle. Thinking in the mind. Nobody knows what I'm thinking. Nobody knows what I'm thinking. I may be guiding and I'm thinking you are crazy or you are wonderful. You don't know it. So why don't you think with reference to the principle to enter into the viveka and you live a life with the viveka? After all, we are thinking of a pleasure. We are living our life. So why don't you think of a viveka and live your life and see by yourself? First, we have to bring an end to the suffering. Don't start dreaming of the awakening and enlightenment. No. Let me examine myself here and now in my day to day life. That is what these 40 steps are. It goes very deep. It can be written in one page, A4 size page, front and the back, all the 40 steps, 5 verses. But when we go deeper, we understand that this master has summarized almost everything. Everything. But it is the genius of that master, we can say, in in a rational manner. But no, remember again, only one thing. I have to settle into that state of meditation where the knowledge starts revealing within me. So, can I say that it is his genius that he has written? No, the knowledge was revealed to him. So, there was a master, yes, Shankara, and some event took place about the Manisha that I discussed somewhere else. And so that revelation of the Manisha first, and through the Manisha, he explained practically the social life. He explained it. And his disciple was also a great seeker. He understood it. The master saw to him, looked into his eyes, and said that now convert the entire incident into a book. That became another book, Manisha Panchakam. It is known as Manisha Panchakam. So you can say that in highest state of the Viveka, I see the ignorance, I see the wisdom, and I go by the wisdom. I go by the clay, not by the cup. The clay is the reality. Huh? For the sake of explaining, the space is the reality. The house comes and goes. The water is the reality. The wave comes and goes. Now I live into that simultaneous awareness. The moment I talk to you, I will address you by your name. But at the same time, I see we both are of the same essence. I see that. So, the same way we see that you and your honey are of the same essence, they came from the same existence as two waves, came from the same water. So, how dare your mind can ever communicate with the impurities of anxiety, of anger, of reaction? Personal experience. You go by experience. You set an example. So, what prevents you not to set an example? I thought, ego sense. One, and I expect something from her or him which will not take place. Hence, I will continue to live in ignorance. I will not apply viveka. So, when I don't apply viveka in my personal life, it will not help you to reach to that state because mind is the same. Mind is the same. It is a big challenge and it is a big opportunity. Every people all around you will start feeling after some time, I don't know whether this guy has become crazy or has changed. It will happen. Lot of people will talk from behind you or in front of you. Are you crazy? My master used to say that you have to, once you are in sadhana, you have to take the burden of your ignorance. That is one part, but you have to take the burden of ignorance of all the people around you also. They will say, I have seen this guy, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and now he claims that he has reached to that. Don't have patience. You will listen to these things. You should be ready. You should be ready to listen to these things. That is another austerity. That is also explained. It will happen. You cannot hide yourself. You cannot play a role by hiding and by being clever. No cleverness is required. That will not help you. Remember this, that will not help you. That will not help you. So you see that this journey, many people around you who love you, who care you, and who complain you, they will say, oh, look at this guy, crazy guy. He claims that he has changed, but I know him. They will even say you that you are cunning, you are cheating. Don't follow them. Have tremendous patience. Continue the journey. And the time comes when the mind laughs at them internally. So when the mind lives in patience, laughs at them because you are not doing what they are saying. So you don't accept, you're not influenced by them. Then the time will come when they start adoring you, loving you. It will not happen in a day. Don't play your role with the ego sense. That will destroy you. Now ego says, no, let me play a role. Come on. And now I played the role. No, that ego sense should not be there. You just play your role the way you go to the restroom. You don't, ego sense doesn't come on the way. You eat your food and you don't, you say to everyone, don't disturb me, I'm digesting the food. It happens. So role happens. Role should happen. So these are a couple of the subtle problems that enters into the life when we are following this journey. Where I am with my honey finished. That much is required. I am with my honey viveka. I remember nitya karma. Finished. Now I don't start playing because there is no need to play. He or she is not saying anything. You see, do you see that? That problem also comes. So, hello, how are you? Yes, yes. Now she serves you the meal. Beautiful. Why beautiful? Why good meal is there? Meal is always good because I have to treat this disease of hunger. So I appreciate it. That is playing a role. That is playing a role, not to be affected by whatever is served. Do you see that? Don't see that there is a film and every plot is created and then you go to honey and you sit there and you start playing the role. Honey will say, "Look at this crazy guy. What happened to this?" I didn't say anything. No, you're perfectly casual, normal. Then only this will work. This will work. But that also caused by the same, remember, ignorance, because of the ignorance, impurity, and distraction. One way. Huh? So I have to remove the ignorance from the knowledge. Ignorance leads. Ignorance is opposite of ignorance is knowledge. The knowledge is gained by viveka. But I cannot get viveka if the impurities in the mind is there. They both are linked. You see? Like this. The same triangle. And that is why I gave you the practice with the triangle. That is why I explained you the hmm, power of knowledge, power of aspiration or desire, and the power of action. But the more we do the viveka, all the three powers will merge together. And you will see it. Now your desire is to express that existence before honey. That becomes such your natural duty. That is why you play your role in the office, in the business, and at every moment. You have an urge to go to restroom, so you don't hold in. That is also because of the existence. So your awareness is not on the, it knows it is a wave, but you come out, you express from that existence, you become a perfect instrument of that consciousness. Being a perfect instrument means what? You enjoy the same luxury which the existence has. Huh? Look at the Secretary of a State of President of United States. They want to go somewhere. They enjoy the same luxury, but still they are known as secretary. But they enjoy the same luxury. They get the different plane to land up in different country. They are talking on behalf of the president. But at the time of the talking, they play their role as if I'm speaking. You have to follow this. Understand this. Otherwise, we will not give you anything. See that? See, that is the way you play a role. So when I'm a teacher, yes, I have to emphasize, I have to inspire you, I have to motivate you. But once that role of a teacher is gone, everything is gone. Everything is gone. That is what the